Here's the question. How can data turn PR into a sales growth machine? And the first principle of this, we're going to do 4 principles that you can use right away, is that data is proactive. Data is proactive. And more specifically, don't wait for news to happen. Use data to create news. Here's my really simple definition of really good data, what it does. It gives you a monopoly on a story. What I mean by that is, if you have the bit of data and the rest of the world does not have the data, you have a monopoly on the story. So when you're in a competitive industry and you've got 9 competitors and you're competing for share of voice and you're trying to get attention and 8 of them outspend you, you're like, shoot, well, how can I have this little piece of the story? Well, if I have an amazing bit of data that no one else has, congratulations, I have a monopoly on that story. No one else can touch what I can do. So it gives you a way to circumvent the pecking order, the brand awareness, all of that, if you can create that. So let's go to part 2, which is data is responsive. So everything we've done thus far is about data being proactive, right? We were creating news by generating data. That's like data. That's like a really good offense, right? If you're like a sports fan, that's like your offensive team, right? If you're like a football or soccer fan, right? So now let's play great defense. Let's make data really, really responsive. And so what we do with our clients is prepare ready-to-go data insights to piggyback on breaking news. So we know that news is going to break in our industry. We know that competitors are going to generate news, especially if there's much bigger competitors than us. So we're ready to go if they do something that we have something to respond with. Third principle, data is timely. This is Singles Day, and if you don't know Singles Day in China, you should know this. This is Alibaba's single day sales by year. By the way, those are in billions. What is interesting about this to me is Singles Day is one of the world's most sophisticated data-driven PR activations. This entire thing is PR, and it's highly leveraging data because in addition to being the biggest sales day in the history of the world, it is the biggest day of data collection in the history of the world because everything that's being fueled from the prior year is fueling how the marketing is done the following year. Sometimes we think of PR just in terms of awareness, but you can also use data-driven PR to drive actions. And particularly data and using a time trigger is really, really powerful for that. And finally, data is scalable. So that's like, right, the sort of the magic formula as a growth marketer. How do we make this scalable? So we can try it small, it works, we can scale it really big. Most of when people do PR, it's because it's like a press release driven approach, it's sequential. You do a press release, you wait a bit, you do another one. You wait a bit, you do another one. So there's this one track that you're following. Here's the cool part. If you do this in parallel, all of you who care about growth curves, you shorten your time axis. How would you like to have 217 sales-driving landing pages on the world's top media websites? If you do this right, each of those pages is essentially a landing page that you took from your website or you took from your landing page creator, and now you placed it on the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, ABC Tampa, all of those different places, and they all drive inwards to you. And if you do that well, if you use great data to create a story, those last, those persist, and you have essentially unpaid entry points to your sales funnel all over the web at some of the biggest traffic sites in the world, which of course is great for SEO too. This is why I believe that every B2C and every B2B brand or company should have a data program. And what is your data program? How do you use data not only for internal insights, not only for growth hacking, but also to package up for others to consume so that you can enter the broader conversation and the broader story? Thank you all. I wish you that kind of success. Thank you.